Hello, everybody. Welcome to Endless Multiverse, episode 61, with your co-host Chainsaw Reacts and Andy. And we have a special guest, first time on the show. Taz is here to talk about a pretty significant topic that I think kind of started on Twitter when I was on vacation, where I was tweeting a bunch of stuff about Batgirl and he was responding to stuff. So I'm like, we talk about this Batgirl situation. How's everybody doing this week? Everybody doing?
Doing well. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course.
It's great to be on the show.
Well, glad you're here. We're glad you're here, Andy. How was it? You've been streaming pretty much every week playing Valorant, pretty much every week, every day.
You actually remember the fucking game for once. Congrats.
Yeah, because you posted my Discord, so I'm playing Valorant again.
Listen, I'm just trying to get the attention that I need. I'm trying to get to 200 followers on Twitch.
Is that like a threshold or something on Twitch you have to hit, or what is it?
No, I'm already affiliate. I am trying to hit partner though, which is a lot harder. Like I post like in any Discord server that I'm like, that's where you're like allowed to sell promo. Like, now again, in Chainsaw's server there isn't like a sell promo section, but I'm like, what is he gonna do? Like he's gonna kick me? Like what is he gonna do? Oh, fine, do it. But yeah, I've been streaming pretty much every week. Might stream later tonight, definitely tomorrow. I'm doing good. Summer's kicking my ass because it's raining outside, but inside my house it's fucking hot. And because of my bug phobia, I'm too afraid to open windows. So
I don't blame you. Don't blame.
Keep those guys outside.
I hate spiders. I hate spiders.
Yeah, my wife literally did not get the mail when she came home today because there was a spider in there. So she went down there later to get the mail. Because she couldn't get it.
Wait a minute. Why the fuck did a spider get into an inbox?
In a mailbox, you can just open the mail. So it can just find a little hole to crawl in. Spiders are tricky little things, don't you know?
Spiders are stupid. Like I'm like, why the fuck would they? Like, because imagine if like no one opens that door for weeks.
And spider webs. Yeah, spider webs all over. Yeah.
Or either that or they die inside.
Going to be Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, that could have happened. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think besides this week being kind of all over the place, I think we pretty much had a good day today. Well, at least Andy saw it earlier, but my Adventures of Superman. Come on.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Wasn't it fun?
It was
fun.
Was
great.
It's just the beginning. I encourage everyone, when you get to episode 7, I think there's could be a lot of people talking. It's like something really exciting.
And I was wondering about that because screeners went out for the first 7 episodes, and I'm wondering is they're hiding something because they don't want people to see past episode 7.
No, I think sometimes it's just that they don't want to send out too much that things don't leak. It doesn't have like I was surprised to even send episode 7 given how big that episode is. So
okay.
But
I mean, based on the ending of episode 2 with a little bit of some name drops and this character who they didn't say his name until you saw the credits. Like who I didn't even think about it. So I looked at the credits, I was confirming, is this a version of Livewire? That's all I wanted to know. Because I don't remember her name or the name of Livewire from the comics. I'm like, so is this electrical power? It's gonna be Livewire, right? And it's like Livewire. Okay. Right below, I'm like, Slade Wilson, what? And then at the end of that clip, you see who I think is behind Slade is Amanda Waller, because they name drop Task Force X.
Yeah. And
in episode 1, they name drop a psycho type of starfish out in Germany. Something.
There's a lot going on. Like I think it's building towards being very much so way more than just a early days of Superman show.
Oh yes.
Okay, so here's my question. Since we've only seen 2 episodes, Taz, I gotta ask you, based on the visions he had in episode 2 when he touched the back of her device, what do you think that's referring to?
I don't even know. Like, if we're going towards like what we've seen in the trailers and stuff like that,
he's
like
himself. He doesn't
like I don't even know. Like I think there's gonna be just like especially like tying it in with like the end of the episode 2. I think something's going on with Argus Task Force X and like maybe investigating like Superman himself and then kind of like going after him because they think he's a threat. That could possibly be what's happening.
Yeah, because Livewire did say, wait, he's not with you? Like, no.
Yeah, right. It was like, well, then who is he with? So, I think that there's something something crazy going on, especially with Argus with the Suicide Squad. I'm guessing they're going to be kind of like recruiting villains of the week to
possibly
face off against Superman by the end.
Or it's because I even mentioned this after what, because I didn't watch both episodes back to back this morning. I mentioned in my review for the episode 1. What if they use this as a show to build out the DC outside of Metropolis? And I'm like, in episode 2, they do that. I'm like, I wasn't expecting that. Andy, you can come back. We're good. But this is really good. Really good first 2 episodes.
It's really hard to again, y'all asking these questions. I'm just like,
no, it's all good. No, because
it's exciting. It is exciting, though.
It's the beauty of the show because we don't know what to expect. There's no hey, you can theorize. Literally, first episode, Superman, he's not Superman. Okay, we're starting out. He doesn't have the suit yet. Episode 2, suit, Livebar, Slade, Midwall, Jasper. Oh my God, what is
crazy powers? We got the trunks. We got the belt. We got
the first episode's hey, he's fighting a robot. Cool. He met Lois for the first time. Jimmy's a conspiracy theorist. All right, cool. And it's oh my God, so much more to show you. So, in speaking of positive, we have to get to, unfortunately, the actual main topic of the show, and why Taz is here, because he was heavily talking about this on Twitter when I was just going crazy about this, because it was all revolving around the Flash movie. We're talking the Batgirl cancellation and the fallout of DC since then, because the thing that stuck in my head, and we covered this on This Multiverse the week that it happened, of Batgirl's cancellation, that Zaslav said the reasoning behind Batgirl's cancellation is because he wants to protect the DC brand, protect the DC property. Funny words. Very interesting. Before we get to all that, first of all, I want to ask Taz, so you're our guest here. I want to ask you first, what was your thoughts when they first announced the Batgirl film? Because it was rumored for a while before they announced it. And what has your thoughts been since everything kind of has unfolded last year?
It's funny. I've become more and more interested in it ever since it got canceled. I was always excited for it. I've always liked the, extended Bat family and everything like that. I thought a movie focused around Batgirl was going to be great, especially if they were bringing Michael Keaton in as kind of our mentor Batman. It was setting the stage to be a really fun movie. And it was originally going to be straight to streaming, and then they were like, "Oh no, we'll release it in theaters and stuff." And then we started getting more and more info on it. The cast and crew seemed very passionate about the movie, and then nope, it's not coming out. It's canceled, and it rings very similarly to kind of the idea that was going around maybe back when Gotham was coming out as well, when they were saying, "Oh, we'll never make Jerome or Jeremiah the Joker because we don't want to quote unquote dilute the brand." It always comes back to that statement. And I'm like, that sounds very similar to what their reasoning was behind canceling Batgirl, is they just, don't want to put that negative mark on the Warner Brothers DC brand. But unfortunately, by not having faith in Batgirl, something that they did have a lot of faith in, being the Flash, kind of did what they didn't want it to do in a way.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. So, Andy, we've had a lot of talks about this, but I'm assuming you were really excited for the movie and the cancellation. Yeah,
I remember. I always when they were starting the idea of doing DC movies for HBO, I'm like, this is absolutely genius. I think some characters, again, it's if they don't want to invest too much budget for a big screen release, there's you can still make amazing films for streaming. And Batgirl, again, it had so much in its favor. They had Leslie Grace is a huge star. Michael Keaton was going to be in it, and the directors of Miss Marvel was part of it, and there was so much. This film is, I think, had so much in its favor for not for just DC but for Warner Brothers, of people know the Bat brand, people know what Gotham City is, they know that there's these extended characters. And I remember the day when the first report came out that the film had been canceled, and I'm like, this is like Grace Randolph nonsense. This can't be true. This is not happening. And then slowly, all the trades started reporting. I'm like, we're actually doing this. We're actually losing this movie. And I remember because I was covering the quarterings earnings call a few weeks later, and again, David Zaslav. Again, man who knows how to do monotones, because that man sounds like a robot when he talks. But like when he's talking about, like, again, like the fact that he didn't want to, there you go, the fact that he was like, again, it's almost like he was like offended that people were asking about Batgirl. But it's like, of course people are going to be wondering about this man. And then he's talking about wanting to protect the DC brand, growing the DC brand, but it's like your actions are counterproductive in that case. And then we look what's happened since then. And it's like at this point, it's like the biggest joke right now on Twitter is just like, when is Batgirl going to leak at this point, because they need good buzz again.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think this whole situation has been a disaster for them because, like, ever since the film got canceled, more people were talking about the movie after the fact. Yeah. And I think they would have benefited from a theatrical release or even an HBO release. Whatever. Fine. Sure. But the thing is, and I think this is why they did it. Now knowing the Flash and all the constant behind-the-scenes production things and multiple endings, that's probably why they wanted to get rid of it, or at least it's one of the of the Flash with Michael Keaton and Sasha continuing. They're there with the timeline reset or whatever that ties into Batgirl. If we're wanting to reboot, if that was his plan, he wants to get rid of whatever plans they were setting up, because they were going to go that route of get rid of Ben Affleck, have Michael Keaton as Batman moving forward, and then having Sasha be Supergirl and Henry's pretty much out, or whatever the plan was. They were trying to get rid of people, then bring people in. Like, it was a whole thing. I think Zaslav just like, hey, we got to get reboot, and then we got to lose this movie. But it's like Blue Beetle was saved because it wasn't connected to anything. But I think with them cutting Batgirl and getting, I don't even know how much money they got back on the tax write-off for it. I don't know if the numbers came out. All I know is that whatever they got back for that tax write-off is probably way less than what they would have made if it went theatrical. Give it a shot. Give it a chance. Because it had a lower budget. It had more of an incentive to potentially make its money back. Because it is Batman. If it's Batman, it is guaranteed to be successful. The Batman, which people are like, the Batman, Elseworlds, this ain't going to make any money, made $700+ million. It's a Batgirl film with Michael Keaton Batman, and it's a Bat-centric film. It's going to get people to go check it out. Even if it's shit, it's still going to get people to go check it out, at least opening weekend. And I would have laughed my ass off. We would have went to a reality where it made more money opening weekend than The Flash. Because that's a possibility.
I think it was very possible that could have happened. And the fact is, too, that a lot of these big studios are banking on big budget films, making them a ton of money. And they're not putting as much focus as they should be on these lower budget properties and everything like that. And I think, Batgirl was in that perfect spot. It was a grounded film that did not cost a lot to make. It wasn't, crazy multiverse adventure, but you could market it very well as a Bat family movie. You had, your first Batgirl movie ever. Like, that's kind of a big thing. You had Michael Keaton coming back as Batman, tying into the old 89 film. You had Brendan Fraser as Firefly, a very obscure villain, but a very well-known actor that could also have, put butts in seats as well. So I just think that it had a lot of potential there, and for some reason, just the corporate side of Warner Brothers did not see the possible profit there, and they obviously are viewing it as a business, and that's what it is. But like, if maybe somebody viewed it more so like a fan than a business executive, then maybe things would have turned out a little bit differently.
And that's also like a slap in the face to this whole situation, because Brendan Fraser was your lead villain. He was your main bad guy.
And then he won an Oscar.
And there was a chance that this movie would not have released before the Oscars this year. So they could have used that in the marketing, because at that point, leading up to the Oscars, Brendan Fraser was the front runner to win the Oscars this year for lead actor, and everybody was saying he's back. He's having his Renaissance or whatever they were calling. They were trying to use his name as a Renaissance.
Renaissance.
Renaissance. Like, he's returning, and they could have used that momentum, because I bet that would have gotten more people to be, oh, Brendan Fraser's in this, and they could have showed him heavily in the trailers. That would have helped. I mean, and then of course Leslie over here freaking had to drop the final scene or the new suit at the end.
Yeah.
By the way,
that suit looked great.
Yeah, of course, I love people online. It looks like crap.
It's a
I
behind the
I,
scenes
I love
photo.
I love the suits.
I like both suits. Like
Yeah,
you got
and
your early like proto suit looks very
yeah,
comic-y, and then kind of the more armored, almost like Arkham style, or it almost looks like a suit from the Gotham Knights game. Honestly,
yeah, and that's obviously that's the Bruce Wayne, paid money suit. And
yeah,
this is exactly pulled from the comics. She made that suit on her own, and people are like, it looks like crap, it looks like CW. This is comics. If you think that looks like crap, you don't read comics, because that is comic accurate as crap. It's
Oh, well,
insane.
let's be fair. Even a lot of CW suits are like they're actually really really well made.
Yeah,
So
but those people that use it as a critique and a hating, attacking thing. That's the thing. People like literally who don't actually give this stuff any credit. I mean,
right.
those shows were doing things that the movies have never done, like actually performing successful crossovers and things of the sort, and not having mustache situations where people have to get CGI mustaches, all that. So you had some notes, Andy. What did you write down in particular? Like, were you writing like behind the scenes stuff you found, or what were you?
well, kind of just a little bit like almost like a little recap of like what we knew about this film for people who I'm sure there's people who never even followed the Batgirl movie situation,
Mhm.
and so just kind of give like a easy introduction to it. But essentially, Batgirl was it was gonna take place after the event of the Flash. Once the whole universe reset, reboot, crisis, flashpoint, whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
In crisis of infinite flashpoints is what they could have essentially called that. This would have taken place after the Flash, where now we have a Michael Keaton, who is now the Batman of our universe, and we were gonna follow Batgirl's origin story of how like her early days. That's why we see her homemade suit, which. Again, it's literally from the comics, literally from Gail Simone's run on Batgirl, and she was going to fight a new version of Firefly, played by Brendan Fraser. Name this version was called Ted Carson, which made me think of a certain former Fox News anchor who got fired recently, but we don't talk about him. And we were going to see her relationship with Batman throughout this whole story. J.K. Simmons was going to be back as James Gordon, which I was like dying to see, and we were going to kind of get a bigger taste of what this new universe looks like after the Flash. And yeah, and there's so many insults made to this, to the people who work on this film. I don't know what is worse, the lead actors have it divided on social media, or one of the directors have it divided out on the day of their wedding.
That's probably worse. I mean, they were in post production. They're working on the movie. He's off getting married, and then it's stupid. It's stupid.
And that's just a really weird situation too, is like the fact that obviously the movie got canceled, but it's not like it was canceled like in pre-production before anything was filmed. Like this movie was done. Like principal photography was over. They were in post-production. They were editing the film together.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got the word like, hey, no, you're done. Can it? And I was like,
yeah. And the thing is, James Gunn has come out and said that Elseworld things are still going to happen, because you first got the Harley Quinn show. You still have the Reeve stuff happening, and I'm assuming they'll announce other things that are not DCU connected. Why couldn't they have went in, say, principal photography, maybe make some slight changes to a couple scenes, so maybe to make it to where this is not the same timeline as the Flash ending, if that's what they're going to be doing, and then just rework it into saying it's an Elseworld story where Keaton's older, he's still Batman, maybe he's thinking of retiring, and then here comes Barbara. Like, how hard is that? And not saying you set it up for sequels and a trilogy, but like you could have still.
Yeah, we don't. Not everything needs to lead to like a whole cinematic universe. We can also we can actually, watch films for just again like something like Joker. Again, initially there wasn't any plans for it to have sequels, but it's like I like the idea that okay, we do these. I don't know how many people in the chat have read this imprint, but in DC Comics now there is this DC Black Label now that they do for self-contained, not main continuity stories that are a little more mature, what have you, where they essentially, can do whatever they want in a lot of ways. Yeah. So again, that's why I'm like, I almost wonder if James Gunn if it wasn't if it was up to him, I wonder if he would have tried to save Batgirl as by this is an
Probably.
Elseworlds thing, but because of all the financial messes that are going on with Warner Brothers, they're like, no, we're vetoing you on this one because we need money back.
Yeah, because the film was canceled way before him and Peter got the job, so they had no chance to save it.
Yeah.
And I also find it funny too, as we're having this discussion, is that things come out randomly from behind the scenes stuff, like around the time of the Flash situation and why I was tweeting out stuff, and Twitter started getting more discussion with Batgirl, was because stuff came out, especially the directors and Michael Keaton in the bat suit behind them, and they're just doing a little video, and then this stuff gets copyright taken down.
That was weird.
How can you copyright something if you're not benefiting off it because you legally can't? Why is it a copyright issue? And it's behind the scenes. It's not like they were literally filming the monitor where Michael Keaton's shooting a scene with Leslie. They're literally saying their names. Then Michael Keaton was, I'm Batman. And they were laughing. They were having a good time. Why is that copyright? It's on their phone. It was their phone. They shot it. I
wonder if that's where that whole, again, I don't know the stipulations in, like in order for you to get this tax write down, you must oblige to and that includes no one involved with said product can redistribute it in any fashion. I wonder if that had something to do with where like they're like, oh fuck, we have no choice. But
if that's the case, Leslie Gray should not have been allowed to post that photo of the new.
No, I know, and again, that's what I'm just fearing because I don't know. I don't know what.
I don't understand.
It's also weird. Like you can do one thing but not the other. So it's like again, it's one thing to release finished footage with finished effects and everything, but it's one thing to release her just she's eating or whatever. So I don't.
I'd be scared to eat with that suit on. Get it dirty. Okay, so then this ties into this bigger conversation about the fallout of DC Simpson because the cancellation of Batgirl. Every single DC film. Now let's be fair. Before the cancellation of Batgirl, every film since Aquaman in 2018 has not performed.
No,
well.
Fernando, don't think I was gonna let it pass though.
He's not here early. But every film, especially since the cancellation of Batgirl, has underperformed or flopped. And it kind of goes to show that this mentality of protecting the DC brand, you're not protecting the DC brand. Because Black Adam could not even make 400 million. Shazam! Fury of the Gods, I don't think even made 150 million total. And we're seeing what happened to Flash now. The Flash just finally, after 3 weeks or so in theaters, broke 100 million domestically. Around 250 million total. They have not made back their marketing and their budget at all, because 1/3 of the theaters for each ticket keeps that ticket money. So they're losing reportedly $200 million on this Flash movie when it's all said and done.
Imagine being David Zaslav.
Taz, thoughts on all of this mess?
It is just a really, really weird spot to be in, and I'm not sure like what led to it, because it snowballed over time. Like movies were making less and less and less, and people seemed to get less and less interested. But then towards the beginning of the year, that's when we got the whole reveal of James Gunn as the new co-studio head. He kind of like revealed that new DC Universe Chapter 1 slate and everything. Everybody seemed very excited about the new direction of the DC Universe. Flash was marketed as it should have been, as kind of like a wrap-up to the old DCEU, but the jumping off point for the new DCU. But then the way that this movie ended off makes me think that Barry just flashpointed himself out of continuity, and we're in just an entirely other timeline here where we actually could have had the Batgirl movie still take place. Like, if they hadn't gone with Clooney Batman at the end, they could have kept Keaton and just said Batgirl takes place in this Elseworlds timeline now, separate from the new DCU. And then if they want to bring back Leslie Grace as Batgirl for the new DCU, just say it's a different version of her. She has a very similar origin story, but just keep the movie kind of in its own Elseworlds timeline. And I think that would work perfectly. But just the fact that it just very weirdly kind of fizzled out here at the end and then we're just kind of expected to wait until 2025 now for anything really concrete in this new universe outside of Blue Beetle, which is kind of going to be its own standalone thing.
And they say that the movie isn't connected to the DCU, but the character might be. Like, I don't.
No. They're saying the film is.
The film,
it's in the new DCU, but it's standalone in that new DCU.
Yeah, it's confusing because, like you're saying, Superman Legacy is the first.
That hurt my head for a second. Like, well, let's go back to that scene. Let's go back to that scene.
Right, yeah, I think the way that they're explaining it is like it takes place in that universe, but it's not connected to the wider story of it. So Blue Beetle's kind of off in his own portion of that universe. So they don't technically have to connect it if they don't want to. That's my understanding of it.
Yeah, and that just doesn't make. I'm trying to find the actual box office numbers of the damn movies. So like I have like a good, because I know there's like a thing you can actually see the actual numbers, but I can't find where it just shows the numbers. So that's kind of a bit frustrating. But I know that Aquaman, of course, made $1 billion. Shazam, the first film, made about $300 million, pretty much breaking even, kind of. Harley Quinn, the Birds of Prey Harley Quinn movie right before the pandemic got about $200 million. Of course, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman 84, those two films were really affected by the whole situation, the shutdown. But then it's like, yeah, these movies they were failing for the last couple of years, including and not including the pandemic. So I feel like people were just done with the connective universe. And that's why these films, unfortunately, are failing. Because if you would have told me before The Flash came out, this movie's not even going to make $300 million potentially, I'm like, there's no way. Because we're talking about The Flash. We're talking Monkey and Batman. We're talking, there's always these cameos. And I think what also hurt too is that everyone pretty much saw the movie at fan screenings. It was leaking the cameos. And that kind of hurt people's excitement too.
Yeah, that was a little weird too. Just kind of showing so many people the movie early and then, just not really.
And for free. That's why I got.
Yeah. So then there wasn't really that rush. And then also now it's coming out on streaming in like later this month.
Yeah, they're going to try their best to get, I don't know. Because, I mean, it's not like where Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 came out in May. It just now came out in digital, but it's made over almost $850 million. And Across the Spider-Verse is literally dominating at 600 plus million worldwide. And that movie like what, 100 million to make or something. It's crushing it. And you have films like, say, Disney's Elemental that open pretty low for a Pixar film, but it's actually gaining momentum as it goes. And I mean, The Flash is dropping. And I know Andy wants Blue Beetle to be successful. I really am worried for that movie. And I'm worried for Aquaman because I don't think Aquaman 2 is going to get anywhere close to $1 billion.
Well, Aquaman is I think Aquaman is doomed.
I keep forgetting that it's coming out.
Yeah.
So is Warner Bros. Because like we haven't had a single trailer. But no, here's the thing. I think Blue Beetle will be a modest success. Where its budget is around $120 million.
Yep.
If this movie makes at least 300, then it's fine. And again, if y'all motherfuckers don't support this movie, I'm just gonna call y'all racist until you prove me otherwise. Because I am petty that way. Y'all fucked over Black Adam. I'm not letting you fuck over Blue Beetle. So,
the difference is the difference is
all the Beetle bucks.
All the Beetle
Beetle
bucks.
bucks.
Yeah, billion Beetles. The difference is Black Adam had a budget of over 200 million reported, and its marketing was massive. And I think Aquaman 2, you'll get a trailer probably in front of Blue Beetle. That's probably what they're going to do, because they literally, the last trailer before The Flash played for me in theaters was the Blue Beetle trailer. It's the last one.
I still haven't got to see it on the big screen yet, which I'm like, damn. It looks good. Does it look good on the? Did you see it on IMAX?
No, I didn't see it on IMAX, but the trailer's really good.
Yeah,
it looks awesome.
Looks good in theaters. Yeah.
And if anything, I'm pleading to the Cobra Kai fans to go support.
Yes.
What's his name in the show?
Zolo. Well, no, his name's Zolo, but
what was the character's name in the show?
Miguel.
Go support Miguel. It's
an amazing show. 10 out of 10. It's so good.
So there you go.
Yeah. And also too, I think here's the problem. Blue Beetle and Aquaman 2 potentially fail at the box office. I don't know what to say about because here's the thing: if Superman Legacy comes out and it doesn't perform,
I think then you're in trouble. Like at this point, you can't really blame you can't blame James Gunn or Peter Safran for anything that's happening right now because they just came in and it's already on fire. Like it's like the meme with Donald Glover where he's walking in with the pizzas and the room's on fire. Like that's exactly what's happening right now.
That dog just like this is fine. Everything's fire. This is fine. Yeah.
And it's weird that we've seen so many people like trying to attack James Gunn or Peter Safran about like, oh, you're the reason why the Flash didn't perform, or like, you know, why DC's in a bad spot. It's like these guys just got here. Like, they're not involved in any of this right now.
The old regime was literally just reactionary to anything. Like I remember when the first Suicide Squad film obviously tanked with critics, but it got a lot of money, almost $900 million. I remember when that thing hit and it was getting more money. I remember there was a story that Warner Brothers was immediately trying to greenlight a Harley Quinn solo film, greenlight a Deadshot Will Smith solo film. They were looking at potentially getting David Ayer back for a Birds of Prey movie. They were just wanting stuff in development immediately surrounding it, even though they had no plans for them after that first movie. They're like immediately reactionary. And then, Batman v Superman didn't do like it critic wise, it wasn't what we wanted. Okay, we have to go and force Zack Snyder to make changes, and then of course that whole fiasco there. This is the problem. The old regime was not sticking to their guns. They literally were just like, we're panicking.
They were reactionary. Yeah, they were like, we need to be like Marvel. We need to be like Marvel.
Right. They were like chasing their own tails, trying to just like live up to, like you said, what Marvel had already done instead of doing their own thing, taking it slow, establishing the universe in the proper way. But they just kind of were trying to say, okay, how fast can we speedrun this, basically?
Yeah. I mean, in the difference was Marvel, when they have a film that doesn't perform well, like say Thor: The Dark World, did not perform well. Did they freak out and try to course correct immediately and try to get another Thor movie? No, they waited until 2017 with Ragnarok. They said it's fine. He's going to be in Avengers: Age of Ultron. Be fine. It's fine. But DC, if that was DC, they would have lost their collective shit if they were at that point like, oh my god, this movie didn't work. That's the problem. So I think James Gunn and Peter Safran are going to stick to their guns and go, okay, Superman Legacy, I bet you it's not going to be a gigantic success. But if they can turn the conversation around to go, okay, Superman, Lois, Lex, if that's true, Authority, whoever the villain is, cool. All right, I'm in. But if people go, this is not a good start. But I think their actual first official start is what? Creature Commandos, the animated show?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
That's coming out next year.
Yeah, so I feel like that's going to be our, but obviously has no connection. I doubt we're going to see Superman in that. But
no, but like it's still DC Universe.
Yeah,
so
it's still the thing is, but it's not.
I think the only connection, maybe a character is going to pop up, I believe, in Waller. I think is what I've heard from Creature Commandos.
Yeah, so I mean, if the Waller show comes out first, live action wise, use that as a stepping stone to get people prepared for Superman Legacy. But then again, I feel like if the script is as good as James is saying it is, and other people who've seen it says it is, then I'm hopeful, but the audience has to be on board. If that first movie comes out and it's like,
the thing is, like, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked because again, I think James Gunn has built a lot of goodwill with fans. I think the reason they didn't show up for Flash is because at this point, many people knew that this is not going to connect to anything. I don't have to see this. That's why I think, because immediately, almost a week after, they started coming out saying Blue Beetle is part of DC Universe, so you guys know, because they want people to know that, hey, this will play a part into what we're going to be doing. So I feel that's why when Super Legacy comes out, it wouldn't shock me if, again, we also need to take a look at the term, the definition of success. You know, is it 500 million, 700 million? Is it $1 billion? Again, if this movie just makes its money back, it's fine. And again, so much can now happen between now in 2025, because look at where we are right now. Right now, we're in a writer's strike with lots of shows and movies now being delayed. And again, that's why I'm like, we were talking about Cobra Kai. It's a miracle Cobra Kai is still somehow like moving forward during the strike. Unless things doesn't change in the next 5 days, there's an actor strike coming next week. Yeah. So I think that by the time this movie comes out, people will be hungry again for content, because that was the problem we had during the pandemic. We had too much content where, again, like poor Jordan couldn't, like it was like 6 shows sometimes a day where he's like, I can't react to this and this and this because I have to now react to this and this and that. So it's like, I can imagine.
Because they had all these shows stockpiled and they were just like trying to cram them out or do something. Because TV-wise, streaming, people are all home, so you drop content now. But theatrical, well, do we put it on streaming? Do we wait till theaters open up again? And that's, of course, that Tom Cruise, like, you're not putting Top Gun Maverick on streaming. That's going in theaters. Made over $1 billion, so he was smart. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Now, there's been some people talking, and this is so funny. I'm assuming you guys are going to agree with me, but there's a rumor now. They casted Superman. Is he going to pop up in the Blue Beetle movie since it's connected? And I'm thinking, no.
They literally cast him 2 weeks ago.
There's no time.
Yeah. Even they could hypothetically shoot a post-credit scene cameo, but they would have to build the suit, and they would have to and that's going to take a while to sign off on what look, because that is a defining moment. What does Superman look like in the new rebooted DCU? And you can't rush that to get a cameo in Blue Beetle like that, because they already tried that, right? They already tried a Superman cameo in Black Adam. That did not help the movie at all. So
I will take that. I will take that versus CGI Superman again for the Flash.
I think just logistically during the writer's strike, I don't think they can. Even if they tried to fast track it, I don't think you could technically, legally even do it. Right?
I guess the actors would have to improv a scene on set because they couldn't do a written scene because you can't do it. So I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. Even if there wasn't a writer's strike, it would just it'd be too fast because
it wouldn't fit either. There's no reason to have him there.
Yeah, you still have to wait 2 years for his movie. It makes sense if his movie's coming out next year, but no, it's you gotta wait. Plus, there's another Aquaman movie coming out, and someone asked too, is Aquaman in the Lost Kingdom still in the old timeline? We don't know.
At this point, I think it's been cut out.
I'm pretty sure it's we're not even going to address it.
I think it depends on which Bruce Wayne shows up, because we know Affleck shot stuff, we know Keaton shot stuff, but now there might not be a Batman at all.
At this point, Christian Bale did something. He was just like, fuck it, why not?
It's probably Clooney again.
They got a CGI Adam West in there. Who knows? It's fucking DC. They're crazy. Instead of shooting actual cameos of people, let's CGI people. And if we get Helen Slater on set of Supergirl, let's de-age her and CGI her in the freaking cameo. That's the regime, right? That's running things now. I'm hoping James Peter go, all right.
Okay, not again.
We're seeing that doesn't work. Crisis on Infinite Earths on CW actually did it properly with actually getting actual people for cameos.
Fuck, even Titans did it better than the Flash movie did. I can't believe that Titans, again, on a streaming service that Warner Bros. Has been trying to give up on, the multiverse cameos idea way better than the Flash. Whereas we're looking at the Flash, we're like, are these video game characters? What am I looking at? Why does Christopher Reeve and Helen Slater look so perfectly chill with a portal just opening up? Oh, look, Kyle.
I want that PlayStation game. I want that PlayStation game. Are they putting that out soon?
What game?
Well, their CGI.
Oh, it's not even PlayStation. It's a bad Nintendo game.
Damn. Well, I need to buy Nintendo systems. I want to play me a Superman game.
Kind of looks like it would honestly be a mobile game, so they can just monetize it.
There you go. Speaking of that, I would love to try it, because literally in our intro we watched the Unreal Engine 5 of where someone had made a Superman kind of beta and flying around. That was awesome. Why can't we have a Superman game? Because we got Gotham Knights, a video game. We got a bunch of Batman games. We got a Suicide Squad kills the Justice League.
Gotham Knights was actually bad.
Well,
apparently Rockstar was working on a Superman game, and then they got kind of pushed off of it, and that's where Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League came in.
And that's when they put John Cena as Superman?
And that's
you see
also and that, yeah, I have seen that, and I think that it makes sense though. Why else would you have a fully fledged Metropolis in there?
Mhm.
Maybe it's leftover assets from a scrap
Probably.
Superman game.
Yeah, and it's so funny too. Okay, so how can we do a game where Suicide Squad kills Justice League? Oh, Brainiac infects them. Like, come on, guys.
And I know there's also a theory going around that Flash is gonna flashpoint everything and reset the Arkham timeline.
Oh,
It's supposedly set in the Arkham game universe,
Look,
which is also weird. Why Gotham Knights wasn't set in it yet? Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is set in the
Imagine
Arkham
the logic. Imagine the logic, guys.
Perfect. Because if they would have done that instead, where Gotham Knights is in the Arkham stuff, then okay, that explains why Kevin Conroy, who unfortunately sadly passed away, he's not in it anymore. And maybe pull archival audio stuff, and then you just have you could have Oracle continue. You can have Tim, and you can have Nightwing come back, and then we can actually flesh out some of these characters that they're hardly in the Arkham games, that they're kind of there. You can actually flesh them out now because they're like leading the crap. No.
I'm so tired that we non-executive people are sitting here coming up with all these logical choices that could make them so much money. But yet, like they do all the more complicated choices. I don't get it.
I don't know. Imagine a Justice League game where you get to do like a whole entire story campaign, and you get to pick and choose from a couple different characters depending on the story. You get to pick what character you want to play.
Do y'all remember that that old school Justice League like Heroes PlayStation 2 game back in the day? Yeah. Okay, thank God, because I was about like, am I the only old person here? But like that game was so much fun. Where I'm like, am I about to low key really try and hunt down someone who has a PlayStation 2 and be like, I need this for an old Justice League game because Warner Brothers is not giving us any.
Yeah, I mean it's just ridiculous that we can't get cool stuff. Can't. And the thing is about the whole reset Arkham, no, because Kevin's passed. We don't need a reset and whatever. Like, no, I'm good. I know Roger Craig Smith did him and the voice of Arkham Origins, great. But once you've had Kevin Conroy do a trilogy and he's back for this new game, Suicide Squad, I'm good. Because he literally was just trying to do a version of Kevin's voice.
I don't want them to undo. I don't want them to undo the Arkham games. Like, this is a good ending. Like we don't know if he's alive. Sorry, go.
No. Go ahead.
No. Like I like the fact that we don't really know if he's alive or if he's dead, and like that's why I'm like, why? I'm almost hoping that the reason Suicide Squad is being delayed, I think it's been delayed again, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think it's coming out until at least next year.
Of course,
at the earliest.
At this point, I'm hoping that the reason they delayed it is because they're trying to cut off the connections to the Arkhamverse, so they can kind of say this is, its own thing. Let the games be what it is. Yes, it just happened. It's just if they're trying to go with the whole multiverse idea, like just say this is just another Kevin Conroy doppelganger.
You know what I would love? Just throwing it out there. Because let's be honest, Arkham City and Arkham Knight are like the two newest games in the trilogy. If they want to do a remake of Arkham Origins and just keep the voice lines of Kevin, because I'm assuming they have those voice lines archived and buried somewhere in the vaults of Rocksteady. If they want to remake that damn game, I'm all for it. But don't do the whole reset and start something else. It's good. It's good. Leave it as is. Because I'm assuming they'll remaster them again for the next console generation at some point. They haven't done it yet, but they will. Because those games are constantly on sale. They'll remaster.
I mean, they're coming to the Switch, I believe, soon. The Arkham trilogy.
So at some point they're going next couple of years after Suicide Squad Kill Justice comes out, they're going to be so we're going to remaster the 3 games again for the next generation consoles. Okay, whatever. Actually make it good this time, because when they first announced that, they had to go back and fix it because apparently it wasn't as good.
Yeah, I do remember that controversy as well.
Yeah. Any final thoughts about the whole Batgirl situation?
I hope it leaks.
I think what they should do is have a secret code that you put in on the Flash Blu-ray. You put in up, down, left, circle, square, up, down, something like that. Yeah. And then you unlock a secret menu and you get Batgirl. And then it will make all the money.
All the money. Yeah, guys, like IRS, don't look at this code we're putting in here on the Flash. Or like you go to Max,
Can
right?
you imagine? Can you imagine? There's probably people at the IRS that have gone to see this film, and they're probably thinking like, "Why the fuck would they cash this in and not just release it?"
Just put it out. Like, oh, print the DC brand. You do realize Warner Brothers puts out crap movies all the time, so even if it was crap, they still could have put it out. It's like go to the Max, go to your Max streaming and type in like Batgirl backwards, like the word. It pops up like the secret like selection to watch the movie.
You gotta just like crack a code, get
good
like
lord.
the Arkham, like the Arkham code breaking device.
Oh my god, 10 billion Batgirl buckaroos.
Hold on, I just want to see what happens if anything kind of shows up, because I'm like
Batgirl typed backwards.
Batgirl, and then
I doubt anything's gonna pop up.
I think there might be like a Lego movie or something.
Oh yeah, the thing is too, they have a lot of Lego DC stuff up there. I'm like, I've never heard of this.
Oh wait, wasn't there that animated thing where it was like the Bat vehicles?
Yes,
Batwheels.
Yeah,
Batwheels.
and then didn't she voice the Batgirl vehicle in that? I'm pretty sure I think she did.
I don't know.
I feel like it. Hold on.
Wow. When I search for Batgirl on HBO on Max, it gives me the season 3 episode of Batwoman called Batgirl Magic, and then Batwheels, Lego DC Superhero Girls, Teen Titans Go, the Lego Batman movie. Sigh.
I'm looking. Okay, so I typed in Lego. We have, of course, the Lego movie, the Lego Batman movie, Lego Batman, the movie DC Superheroes United, the Flash Lego, Batman Lego DC Family Matters, Lego Scooby-Doo, Lego DC Shazam Magic and Monsters with the Lego Shazam and Black Adam, which we never got in live action. DC Comics Superheroes Justice League Cosmic Clash. Looks like a Brainiac and a Lego Brainiac. Yeah, there's Gotham City Breakout Justice League Aquaman Rage of Atlantis. Bizarro League. There's so much Lego stuff. Attack of the Legion of Doom.
Did anyone know there was this much Lego DC? So because I feel like they've just gone over my head.
I see like random clips sometimes. I saw one from the Bat Family one where just like Red Hood had the Bat Family like tied up in the Bat Cave and was just like making fun of them. It was hilarious.
Yeah, those things are specifically made for kids, but it's like they cranking out Lego stuff left and right. It's just ridiculous how much they can get away with it. I think there was I know there's a couple of I don't know if they're shorts or like full length, but there's these Batman animated like armored thing or something where they're like it's like futuristic Batman, kind of like
oh yeah,
Batman
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's weird too. I don't know what that is.
And for a while before I watched the show for the first time, I kept seeing Batman versus Dracula and realizing it's now tied into the Batman mid 2000s animated show.
Yeah.
That movie was awesome. Like I kept saying, Batman vs. Dracula. Like, what is this? I eventually, okay, I recognize that's that Batman from this Batman show. People are telling me to watch. When I finally watched the show, I'm like, oh, okay, get to the movie. This is freaking awesome. It's like, okay, so now I get it. But it's like I see this other stuff. I'm like, I don't know what this is. I had no idea. It's like Batman Soul of the Dragon. It was like a 70s, and it's like they just threw Batman in because it's in his cell. So.
And then there's also I was looking at just like because I was covering Gotham Knight stuff. There's a animated Batman movie called Gotham Knight that is on Max, and it's tied to the Nolan trilogy. Apparently,
it makes no sense.
I'm like,
it
what?
Makes no sense.
And Kevin Conroy voices Batman.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't get it. It's
there's like 4 mini stories where they're like okay, there's I think one was even supposed to be like manga-like, and then they're like, "Oh, this takes place between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight." I'm like, "The hell, it does."
They're just. I feel like they're just like doing whatever. It was like it's like a weird time at DC where it's like, who knows what they're gonna do? This is also the same company, and we mentioned this on Ben the DC TV shows stream on Tuesday. Me and Andy were on there, and we mentioned okay, so DC Warner Bros. Had this bright idea to have My Adventures Superman on Adult Swim and then on Max the next morning. How come they didn't do that with Batman the Caped Crusader, which is going to Amazon? It doesn't make any sense to me either.
It rights issues, I guess, or just like distribution I don't know.
No,
It's like how they were airing like Stargirl on DC Universe and then CW like the next day.
They were going to cancel it. They were going to cancel it because they like, so Amazon's like, all right, we'll save it. Cool. Like, so we're still getting the show. But as I was saying on that stream, I'm like, okay, so imagine how much, because right now, Batman vs Superman is doing really well for right now because everyone's like talking about this show.
Yeah.
Imagine if this Cape Crusader show, Batman, is actually as good as people are saying it is in terms of what people have been talking about it. They showed footage at some sort of private or some sort of special event. They actually showed footage. People say it looks really. Wait, what?
Oh, how nice how nice that people get to see things before we do.
Yeah.
And there's no event that can actually show us anything.
Yeah, but so it's like you do all this. Why couldn't this show also benefit from being on Adult Swim and then going to Max? Because now everyone's talking about the Superman show. Why couldn't Batman get the same treatment? Because they were both announced at the same time, pretty much. Who needs it, right? Who cares about a dark Batman show? Which people are like, it's like the Batman animated series, but on crack. It's like, why would you get rid of that then?
It's like, why wouldn't we want to make this?
Yeah, like, yeah, oh, we'll make it, but we ain't gonna stream it. Like, we'll get it back in a couple of years when Amazon, when the whole rights deal's over. But by that time, the show's already ran its course because Amazon's gonna benefit from having that show. Because people are gonna be jumping over to Amazon Prime to watch Batman. Why would they go to Max? The Batman show's here. Like, that's the thing. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's like the whole thing about HBO sending some of their stuff over to Netflix because Warner Bros. Discovery is like, yeah, we're gonna license some shows to Netflix. That's not benefiting HBO and Warner Brothers. They're getting money, but Netflix is benefiting from the shows because they're going over there. I don't get it. This is dumb.
It's interesting too, talking about all these animated projects, talking about all of these games and stuff. It reminds me of the fact that James Gunn said that everything's supposed to be connected eventually. Movies, animation, video games. Everything.
So trying to figure out
how are we going to do that? Like, there's so many different Elseworlds things, so many different just like versions of heroes, different properties, everything like that's happening right now. Are we just saying like we're going to get to a point, we're going to get to a wall, everything's going to just get canceled or end or whatever, and then just from that point forward, if Superman is showing up in an animated thing, he's being voiced by David Cornsweet, who's playing him in the game, or that's playing him in the movie, that will also voice him in a game, that will also do. Oh, now we also have that Flash podcast thing too.
Yeah, but
Flash podcast? Is someone in the Flash podcast?
Oh, I think you're in the Flash podcast.
I am the Flash podcast.
And people are saying, "Oh, that's connected to the Flash movie." I
very much am connected to the Flash movie. Yes,
yes.
I was in the bar.
Escape the Midnight Circus. That Flash audio story. They're saying that's connected to the Flash movie. Is that true?
I saw. If you look at what was it, like the little promo that they released yesterday? The director creator said that it supposedly takes place a couple of years after the movie, where Barry's further into his journey.
They were really confident on this one. They were like, "Oh yeah, like we're gonna jump ahead a couple of years," and Barry's already married to Iris. I'm just like, "What?"
And apparently, she is done with him, and then he meets Captain Cold. He meets all these villains who we never see in the movie. Who cares, right? I pulled up this tweet. Actually, well, now it went away, but this is why I think this whole idea of gaming a part of this DCU is not going to work. So yesterday, a tweet was sent out saying it's been 573 days since Monolith Gaming Studio announced their Wonder Woman game. That was, and I didn't realize it was 2 years ago, but it was 2 years ago since this little teaser of Wonder Woman from the game came out. 573 days ago, now 574, 575. Where's the game? Nobody knows. And so
I was wondering I think it's been canceled.
I hope not. But the thing is, why does gaming have to be a part of this? Animation and live action, sure, because you can plan ahead and schedule. But as we're seeing with Rocksteady, they continuously keep delaying that game. And other studios constantly delay their shit. And it's like, how can you get a game? Because, okay, if it's a story thing in a game that is specific to a timeline, then you have to postpone everything and wait till the game's done because you can't move forward with
the game development's so unpredictable.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever play? Do you remember when those Amazing Spider-Man games came out
Mhm.
in between movies.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
the tie-in, yeah.
Do you think that's what they're gonna be doing when like it's like, oh, like, you know, while we're waiting for like Superman Legacy
But
2?
those were never good.
No.
like all the
I mean,
they were okay, but like they weren't like pinnacle gaming. Like it wasn't like Spider-Man PS4, PS5 quality
Yeah.
of a
Well,
game.
fair enough.
If they were to say do the tie-in video games, that's a bad idea. But if they're saying original story that's tied into what's going to happen and what's happened before in the movies and animation will tie into this show or to this game, that's a heavy toll, because now you're requiring a gaming studio to get the narrative across so that people play the game. But here's the thing, is it required to play the game to follow the next storyline for Superman? Right? Like, we don't know.
What if it's a game that has like choices? Then what ending is canon? If it's what if, you know,
I'm assuming they're going to have that you can't have choices.
Yeah, so there's going to be no like
Yeah.
RPG elements. There's not going to be a pick a character, create a character, multiple endings.
Like I said,
you know,
they
that
could
type
get
of thing.
They could get away with that if like you want to change your character's look, as long as you realize, hey, the story is canon, and this will help me understand the Justice League movie hypothetically in 3 years, whatever. Like, and the thing is too, I don't want them, if they're going to go this route, because James Gunn reiterated it again a little while ago, video games included, that they better not have a character introduced in a video game first. I don't want that. If you're going to do an animation, that's fine. Live action show, fine. I don't know if they're going to do animated movies in the DCU, but whatever. Just don't do it in a game, because that's
I hope there will be animated movies. If we're doing animated shows that are tying in,
Yeah, why wouldn't we get movies?
I mean, I don't know, because like it's same. I don't, because then again, we don't know the full scale of phase 1 or chapter 1. We don't know exactly what the whole plan is. Like, we know, hey, we're getting a Waller live action. Hey, we're getting Swamp Thing. But we don't know, like, hey, we're going to get an animated, I don't know. We're going to get animated Suicide Squad. I don't know if they'll do that, but I don't know.
Yeah. And it's interesting, too, because they just kind of restarted the DC animated movie universe with Superman Man of Tomorrow, and they're kind of building up that Justice League and everything. We're getting Warworld next.
Yep, with the Trinity. Finally, the Trinity. Yeah.
And Jensen Ackles Batman, like, come on, that's great.
It's
are
really
we just gonna lose them after this? Like,
no,
I don't think they're ending that universe anytime soon, because
and they can kind of keep it as an Elseworlds.
Yeah, because somebody commented.
That's literally what it is.
Yeah, somebody commented on my episode 2 reaction for my Vintage Superman, saying, "Man, I really hope the show lasts a while. I hope it gets the last while before it gets canceled for the DCU." I'm like, they already confirmed there's Elseworld stories. Harley Quinn's not going to get canceled,
right?
Because of Harley Quinn appearing in live action in the DCU. That show is going to go as long as it's profitable and it's making them money. And it's so if my Vintage Superman,
my Vintage Superman already has a season 2 pickup.
Oh, was that confirmed or no?
Yeah, the day when they announced it, they Warner Bros. Gave it a 2-season order for Cartoon Network and Max. So they've obviously been, animating and stuff for the last couple of years. Yeah, there's already, as far as I know, there's a season 2 already.
Well,
that's great.
So they have a plan. They actually are sticking to a plan. That's a good thing. And so I don't see them canceling this, because it'd be like, okay, so are they going to kill Superman and Lois for Superman Legacy? No, because it's not connected. It's a very separate thing. We know that. This is not the same Superman they're going to use in the movie. If Superman and Lois was to get the season 4 on CW, and hypothetically, season 5 on Max, right? If they don't continue it and they pick it up, hypothetically,
at this point, we will see which kids they will even keep, because
all the hurdles to get through. But it's like they won't cancel the show because of Superman Legacy, because everything else was. It's like, oh, we're gonna have to introduce Batman Brave and the Bold. We're about to introduce new Batman. Got to cancel the Reeves movie. Got Batman Part 2 can't come out now. No, because James Gunn is like full steam ahead. You guys keep going, because ultimately that's helping DC Studios make money. That's helping them look better. So why would you stop Reeves and anything else potentially attached to that? Because they're saying Mike Flanagan, who did all the Haunting a Hill House, Bly Manor on Netflix, and Midnight Mass, phenomenal show, that he's potentially doing, I think, a Clayface in the Reeves universe. I don't know if that's true or what, if that's just a rumor. But if that's all stuff happening, and Joker 2 potentially being successful, why would you put a stop to it? Because, we're doing our DCU. That's dumb. It's like, let the Elseworld stuff keep going.
Yeah, I think Elseworlds is a great direction to go in. Like, I honestly like disconnected stuff almost as much as I like kind of connected universe things. Like, it's nice to have something that's not tied into a larger story, that it's not, kind of held back by having to, relate to this larger DC universe. And that's, again, like the beauty of the Batman, of Joker, of all of these animated projects and stuff like that are, standalone things establishing their own worlds, but aren't really, bound by this giant universe machine.
Yeah, because imagine if the Joker movie was Jared Leto led. Like, people already saw him, people were divisive on him. That movie would not have made $1 billion. Like, it had to be a unique take with Joaquin Phoenix, something different. And it's proving the point that the DCU, the connectivity is not working. Johnny has a good point here, saying talking about the gaming side of things, saying if it's made based on a future chapter of the DCU, there's plenty of time to make it. Yes, but you're still relying on that the stepping stones of the movies and TV shows that don't change enough to get to the point where that storyline makes sense for the game. Because imagine if, like, we have to course correct our storyline that ties into the game. That means you guys got to change it, and that's
a lot harder to change a game than a show or a movie. Yeah,
because when Rocksteady announced, we're delaying Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League and they were talking about some gaming changes, like, you realize this is not going to take a couple months, guys. You delayed it a couple months. It can't. It's going to take you way longer than that to rework the game mechanics, because that's the main thing of your game. Like,
especially those removing things, because people, because again, they were, what was the thing that people were so angry about?
It was like the battle pass microtransaction kind of like Fortnite looking lobby that leaked. Yeah. That was the big criticism. So they were like, maybe we'll take a step back from that.
So if they're getting rid of that, they had to think like, well, then we have to put something else in there.
They kind of have to redo the entire progression system at that point.
Pretty much. We do have 2 super chats. One time about Batgirl. Did Batgirl take place before or after Flash? So it was confirmed after Flash, based on what we understand and what Andy looked up. I'm not sure what Andy looked up. I'm not sure if he talked to Leslie herself or whatever.
Oh, no, and I FaceTimed. I was like, "Yo, girl, listen, I got the show going on tonight, and your storyline was hella trippy. So was this before or after?" She was just like, "It's after." For legal disclaimer, no, I did not make a conversation.
And then she's like, okay, Andy, I gotta go because I'm talking to James Gunn about reprising my role as Batgirl in Brave and the Bold. So bye. And then she left.
Exactly.
That's exactly.
And also told you about the Batgirl Supergirl team up movie as well, right?
And then Sasha came in. And she was like, yo, listen. Before shit went down, we're gonna do World's Finest. And the Man Boys were going to be so upset that it was the 2 of us.
Because we're doing Brave and the Bold, Leslie Grace Batgirl, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and then the team-up movie.
Yep.
Boom.
I'm so fucking tired. I'm so
$1 billion.
Tired. I'm so fucking tired of Warner Brothers. Like, I'm so fucking tired. It's like,
I guarantee you, that movie would have made probably double more than the Flash movie. A Batgirl Supergirl team up.
I'm pretty sure my mother knitting a sweatshirt in a movie would make more money than the Flash movie at this point.
Oh my god!
I'm so tired. This isn't fair. Like, Marvel gets all the fun. Like, they get all the like when you look on TikTok or so, when you see all those like epic moments that people freak out over in the theaters, and like they get everything they want. Where us DC fans, we had to like scrap for bond. I'm done.
Just throwing this out there too. So it came out same day and date, 2021 on Disney Plus for $30, but not including those sales there. The Black Widow movie made more money than The Flash. Made more even opening weekend. And it was same day and date on Disney Plus.
That is crazy.
I'm so fucking tired. We don't get anything.
I mean, here's the thing that's weird though too, is people seem to want to actually watch this movie because somebody like uploaded the entire thing to Twitter and it got like millions of views. Yeah. So people just don't want to pay for it. is the
And
thing.
that's the thing. Because I bet they were just skipping to all the cameos at the end to see
Yeah.
what it look like. No super chat. I'm not sure. Taz, do you watch the Star Wars Mandalorian show? Or
Yes, I
no?
do. Very, very big fan of Mando.
So Scott wants to know top 5 favorite Mandoverse characters. It could be anybody from Mandalorian who
Ooh.
has appeared in the Mandalorian. I think obviously number 1 we have to either go Mando or Grogu. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think they gotta occupy at least those top 2 spots. Gotta show some love to Ahsoka. That's coming out soon too.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, dude.
I'm so excited for that. That like
rest in peace, Ray Stevenson, who passed away, but he looks amazing in that. By the way, looks awesome as hell.
I gotta throw Grief Karga in there because you always love a nice Mando.
I love it. He's like Mando. Like I like it when I think it was like the season 3 premiere. He like turned. He's like, oh, there's a ship landing, whatever. He's like Mando. He's like, he's so happy to see him. He's like, hello, buddy. He's like, no, I'm top now. I'm the top guy now. He's like, I get things done. Your 5th person? Your 5th?
Is it a cop out to say Luke? Am I allowed to say Luke even with the CGI face?
It's. I mean, Mark Hamill was there to shoot.
Yeah, at least that was better CGI.
And we're leading towards Heir to the Empire, so I would assume we're gonna get Luke back in some form or fashion. So I gotta go with your boy Luke Skywalker.
There's nothing saying they can't. Right?
Will he be Sebastian Stan or Mark Hamill?
I actually think the body double that they have now would work perfectly. Honestly, I think if they're going to show him in any extended scenes or for any extended period of time, you just can't keep doing the face CGI. Like it's too much outside of just little cameo scenes. Like that's fine, but if we're gonna have them in a full movie or something, I think we're gonna have to do what we did with Han Solo and just kind of suspend disbelief and just have a recast.
Well, here's the thing though. So the thing is, Lucasfilm has now made it a point to where they will just de-age people, because we literally saw. Of course, the Book of Boba Fett, we had the advancement in terms, because they hired somebody from YouTube who did the de-aging and the what was the program, or what's the thing called? Deepfake. Yeah, they hired somebody from YouTube who deepfaked Luke from the season 2 finale of Mandalorian better than what they did. Yeah, so they hired this guy,
like what, Shamook or something like that. I think was the guy's name.
And then we saw, because I showed the images in this multiverse. If you go back and look, Andy, or just Google, literally that deepfake Luke is his work of what he has done, and the massive improvement is insane.
Yeah, and that's why it looks so much better in Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, and so the thing is now, how long until that movie comes out? We don't know how long it's going to be until that movie from Dave Filoni, and who knows how much of a role, even if he is in the movie. So if Luke's in the movie, who knows how far the progress is going to be to that point then.
True.
Because my guess is Luke's not going to have a gigantic role. I'm guessing the leads are going to be Mando, Grogu, and Ahsoka. That's my guess. They're going to be the leads. Maybe Bo-Katan. I think my top 5
too.
Yeah, I think he worked better when he was not in his own show. That's the thing. In season 2 Mandalorian, he was killing it.
Who's Bo-Katan?
Bo-Katan's Katie Sackhoff.
Oh,
and I think I got to put Bo-Katan in my top 5 personally, because she crushed. Because I was under this impression, oh shit, okay, her and Mando are gonna fucking fight in season 3, and that didn't happen. Like, it actually didn't go that route. So I'm thinking, all right. And it's pretty damn cool. Okay, so this super chat to Star Wars. Are you excited to see Ghost Crew in live action? You think Luke will appear in Ahsoka? Also, is Black Manta going to be the main villain in Lost Kingdom? I think Black Manta, yes. Ghost Crew, yeah. I'm excited. Hera, right? That's cool.
It sounds just like another season of Star Wars Rebels, and I'm down for it.
I think Dave Filoni confirmed that. Like, he told Rosario Dawson, basically it's like season 5 of Rebels, kind of.
And that. If I wasn't sold already, that would sell me even more. But I'm very excited for this.
Why did Rebels get canceled? It's only 4 seasons. Or ended, I guess.
I think at the time they didn't have. Well, first of all, they were running, unfortunately, into the roadblock, which is A New Hope, because that whole storyline, of course, the original trilogy was about to take place, and they're literally running into that. Mm-hmm. And the Ghost Crew, like the Ghost ship, at least it shows up in Rogue One. So we know that she was there. Hera was there. They didn't show her, but we know she was there. But that's why they had to kind of end it at that point, because if they kept the show going, eventually they're running into literally Darth Vader and Luke and everything, and you can't retcon those movies.
Yeah, you kind of ran out of track there.
Yeah, so they did a huge time jump at the end, and they're basically picking up that time jump after the events of the trilogy of Ahsoka and Sabine looking for Ezra.
For Ezra, yeah, and I think I saw
not
something...
the other Ezra, not the other Ezra,
the Ezra with the Force abilities.
Mm-hmm.
I think I did see something earlier today as well that it's supposed to take place during season 3 of Mando.
Yes, I did see that as well. That Ahsoka takes timeline wise. So really, is Mando gonna show up in Ahsoka? Like, well, if it's same timeline, I would say no, because whatever's happening with Ahsoka, Mando's probably busy.
Yeah.
So dealing with Mandalorians and all this nonsense, and did they see an actual a mythosaur? Who knows? Yeah, it's like we don't know what's going on. Do you think Luke will appear in Ahsoka since they had an interaction in Book of Boba Fett?
I would say yeah, especially since we know about Heir to the Empire. We know all this Thrawn stuff. I mean, I would be shocked if we didn't get at least a little conversation cameo scene at some point throughout the series, whether it be towards the beginning as kind of like all right, this is the journey that I'm going to go on, or towards the end of it kind of saying, hey, Thrawn is a big threat, might need your help in the future, might need to team up in a movie.
Yes. So I guess we'll see about that. So pump up the evanescence because Deadpool 3 is reportedly bringing Jennifer Garner's legend. Well, that is not reportedly. It's apparently happening. It's being reported in the trades that it is happening. I'm hoping that Deadpool himself will make an announcement about it, but I don't know. Anyone listening to Evanescence, like, was Evanescence like heavily in the Elektra soundtrack or something?
It was in the again, Jordan, you gotta think back when we had those early 2000 superhero movies. This were the three key ingredients: songs like Evanescence, to a shit ton of leather, 3, a lot of angst, and this was before the CW was a thing. So, yeah,
Daredevil used to murder people back in that movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now the question is, why is this happening?
I think it's also
because they're also bringing back Ben Affleck Daredevil, maybe possibly.
That's heavily rumored, and also it came out that the rumor is Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart are back as well. Which Patrick Stewart kind of hinted a while back that maybe he's doing something.
Who's Doctor Strange?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Who's Doctor Strange?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
No. When he glared into the camera, was like, "Who's Doctor Strange?"
Oh yeah, he's like, who? Huh?
That was so.
That was probably the coolest, even though he had like such a small scene. Him in that yellow chair was phenomenal.
And
oh god! And what's so funny? So I'm now watching the 2000s X-Men Evolution show for the first time, and they played a kind of beach version of that theme at the end of an episode because they're all at the pool in the back of the X-Mansion. And it's like, and like they're all like,
it is the one only X-Men theme that exists.
It's a beach vibe. So I'm like,
it's iconic.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, so we finished the episode. We introduced Storm's nephew, Spike, which is okay, whatever, kind of a weird character. But we're in a pool scene, and literally as we're cutting to this final scene, there, everything's happening now. Woo! It's like playing on like kind of like a acoustic guitar, but it's like, I don't know, it's like just the sound of it. I'm like, what is that? What? And then they play it again a little later in the scene. I'm like, they're adding more to it. It's not the exact theme, but they're playing that lead.
Where are you in season 1 of Evolution?
I gotta edit for tomorrow. I fucking gotta edit it. It's what's the episode? It's the Rogue episode where Rogue and Cyclops go on a trip together, and then she finds out the truth about what Mystique actually did. Because Mystique pretended to be Wolverine and the other X-Men when she was first introduced, and she thought the X-Men are going against her.
God damn it, Mystique with her,
I know,
her tricks.
And I'm trying to think, in the comics, has there been iterations of Mystique turning to animals, or is that something that's like kind of?
That sounds like that just sounds like Beast Boy.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, because literally Mystique turns into, like, she was pretending to be this high school kid, revealing himself to being Mystique, and then pushing Cyclops over, and then there's the whole thing, and then she turns into a wolf, but she's standing up straight, so it's like on its hind legs, and like a werewolf, and then it goes down to all four. But she's a werewolf. Then the ice bridge breaks, and she's falling. She turns into an eagle, and this Wolverine's like, Mystique, you want to mess with the Wolverine? It was such a weird moment, but I was like, he didn't get fucking. He's gonna fucking slice at Mystique as an eagle, and she's like, ah, and then she leaves. And I'm like, it's a weird fucking scene. But hey, Rogue is on the team now. Yay, he's in the family. But I got to that episode, but it's pretty fun. You know, it's pretty fun. It's definitely not X-Men the '90s, but I'm okay with that because it's different. You know, it's different. I love how in the second episode they had Wolverine fighting Sabretooth, and they're like sniffing each other from like miles away. I smell them, and then they fight each other in a parking deck. Like, what the hell is happening?
Are you gonna react to X-Men '97, or is that gonna be too difficult because of Disney?
Oh yeah, X-Men '97, dude. Yes.
Wait, where's the premiere date for that?
Next year, I guess. I don't know.
I'm 2024 hasn't even started yet. I'm already tired about 2024.
I'm already tired. It's gonna be a disaster. Thank you, Super Chat, Scott. Does Thrawn lead to First Order? I don't think he does. I think it's a separate thing.
He's not tied into the first. At least if we're going Legends.
Yeah, because
so he would be very separate.
Because they're doing their own version. I forgot these were up here of the Thrawn trilogy.
Yes.
So, I guess technically, because the way they were talking about it in,
because he has his own fleet.
Yeah. Well,
and like it's usually. Is it like a bunch of different like Chiss ascendancy kind of guys? I guess.
Well, I know that like in the Mandalorian season 3 when they revealed Moff Gideon, which like took fucking ever. They had that whole like secret meeting. They're talking about well, the rise, the return, and it's like
the shadow
yeah, and
company or whatever it's called.
That group is going to lead to the First Order clearly. But that one guy's like, wait for our leader to return, the one, the only. And then it's like, but where is he? Where is Thrawn? Where is the Grand Admiral? It's like, so people are like, oh, is he going to show up in Mandalorian? I'm like, no, he could, but you need to also like establish the hell out of him, because no one's like, who the fuck is Thrawn? Because they're going to do that in Ahsoka. But if he was to appear in Mandalorian with no context, just like boom, here's a guy with blue skin, and because there's people that don't know who that character is,
right?
Not a lot of people, but everyone kind of has an inkling. But you can't just introduce him in the Mandalorian season 3 finale and go, look, it's him.
Especially with the way they left Rebels off, like he's out in the unknown regions with Ezra, kind of just like chilling out there with the Purrgil. So
yeah, it's like. You know, the end of Mandalorian season 2, they had that post tag with Boba Fett and Fennec kind of sitting on the throne of Jabba. It's like imagine at the end of season 3 they had a tag of like Thrawn walking in, sitting in a chair, and just sitting there, and like he has plans. Like, I'd freak out. You'd freak out. People are like, "Who the fuck is this dude?
Yeah,
why is he blue?"
People that are just there for little Grogu would be like,
is he rejected?
What's this blue guy doing here?
Is he from the Blue Man Group? What's going on here? Why is this Smurf sitting down in this chair? Like, who is he? Like, no one, like, people wouldn't get it.
Jordan, I think you just found yourself your new co-host when it comes for all things Star Wars, because I love that. I'm just sitting being like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I'm just like, just sit and smile and look nice.
I'm sorry.
Which is also a difficult thing for me to do, because I don't look nice. But like, I'm just like, I think I understood one word in that whole
Star Wars Jedi. Pew pew,
yes.
Pew pew, lightsaber.
I do. The pew pew, I do understand. I do remember the pew pews.
Well, we did watch Obi-Wan and review it on the show.
That's because Ian McGregor is like hot. Of course, watch that.
That's true. He is. I wouldn't be opposed to him coming back personally.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I would always love to come back.
I mean, we'll see what happens. If Ewan McGregor does return, then again, his new woman is Hera, right? Yeah. Elizabeth Winstead or whatever, they're married now, I think.
Did you just say his new woman? You mean like Jordan? It's 2020. His girlfriend or partner or what?
His new woman. His new woman. Well, also too, like there's whole controversies around that whole situation there too. So I don't know.
What? Wait. So now people have issues with two white straight people fucking each other. What? Wait. What's wrong with these two?
Because, well, no, it's because of how he ended up with her, because of extramarital stuff. Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah, white problems. That's what it is. White people problems.
Yeah.
So since they said DCU will start with already established heroes, maybe the games would introduce them. Well, no.
Maybe more name dropping than introducing.
I mean, look, do you think there'll be like significant name drops in Superman Legacy to kind of hint at other things like Gotham City or something? It's possible.
Oh, I bet that shit is gonna be all over there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're going to use Legacy to really kind of hammer home the fact that it is a established DC universe. Like, it's still in its early stages, but like things and characters and heroes and villains exist. Like, especially Batman's going to have to be kind of further along in his career because he's, we're at the point where Damian Wayne is Robin. So he's been around. He's been around as Batman for a while. So
he's getting tired.
Taz, me and Jordan, we were kind of fighting about this yesterday. How old do you think the new Batman actor should be for the DCU?
I think mid 30s, early 40s at the oldest, because David Cornsweet is 29, 30-ish. So I think having a like 35, 40-year-old Bruce makes a lot of sense, especially, again, he's going to have Damian Wayne, and I would assume he's going to be in the like 10 to 15 range. So
yeah, and Bruce is going to be
oh my god, in about 1 hour and 30 minutes, David Cornsweet turns 30 years old. So happy early birthday.
Well, you also know Bruce is going to be really pissed. I have a kid. What? And Talia's like, here you go. I'm hoping
that's the one thing I'm not excited for. I'm like, oh, wonderful. We have to put up with Talia al Ghul again in live action. Like, I'm like, wonderful. Like,
come on, it'll be fine. I bet she'll.
I hate Talia.
I bet she'll only be in a little bit of it. I don't think she's gonna have a major role. Because also too, they got to use this movie to establish this version of Batman, potentially Batgirl and Nightwing. Hypothetically, if we're going Bat family.
Yeah, and then Red Hood exists probably at that point too, and we're
I
also
swear to
maybe
God,
at
if Jason
Tim
doesn't even if they skip all, if they do all the Robins but Jason, I would be like James, you just hate my son for some reason. It's like I'm gonna feel so attacked if because again, I don't like Damian Wayne. Like, I'm like, for me, it's like if that kid got hit by a truck tomorrow, I wouldn't care. But like if they somehow we do Dick is around, Barbara's around, Tim is around, even Luke Fox and everything, but not Jason somehow, like they wasn't like in the animated, Batman animated series universe, I'd be like, I feel personally attacked and I'm gonna sue.
If Barbara is not Batgirl and she's already Oracle, I'm gonna be mad. I'm just saying right now.
Everyone is torn on that. People there's some people who want her to be Oracle, some people want her to be Batgirl.
And that's fine. Get her to Oracle, right? Progress her to Oracle. Do not start with Oracle. I need to see the Batgirl suit. I need to see it because we didn't get a Batgirl fucking movie. I need it here. And this could be a way for Leslie Grace to potentially do it right. Actually be in a Bat family movie that is going to actually stick and actually come out. And then lead her to Oracle in a couple of appearances later.
Well, we can bring in Brandon Fwait as a new Nightwing.
Do whatever you want to do. I don't give a shit. Like
he just wants Batgirl.
Just give me Batgirl, and then you introduce Joker, and then we know where we're going. We already know we're going to that Hawaiian shirt and the gun at the door. We know where we're going.
Or maybe we can do like 3 Jokers. Possibly that would be.
Can you imagine if James pulled that off?
That's a good thriller.
I actually really liked the 3 Joker story. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I actually liked it.
Would they call it hypothetically as a sequel, Batman 3 Jokers or the 3 Jokers? Would they do that?
We don't need to put that. We know, the people know grammar basic. It's like they know everything. Like no one's gonna say the 3 Jokers. So I'm like,
maybe
I don't know. Like
maybe Batman the Last Laugh.
Ooh, that's
good.
That's
a good name for let's say they do a sequel trilogy, and we're like, okay, this is gonna be the final Bruce Wayne Batman movie, the 6th movie. That's like the final title that you the Last Laugh.
Okay, so he's like. Imagine they did a Damian Wayne game. He kills. Okay, so first of all, I think we're going to make a Damian Wayne video game where he's murdering people. That's the introduction to Damian Wayne. I'm sorry. No one's gonna want that.
No.
Well, there was going to be a Damian Wayne game. That was what
Oh yeah, the
WB
leak.
Montreal was working
Yeah,
on
the leak.
before Gotham Knights.
Yeah.
So
And they had like designs of like Two-Face.
the concept art was really interesting. And
And his Batman suit was
he
like
had like a flowy cape and everything.
Yeah.
It was like
bulky as hell shoulder
dark.
pads and stuff, and it was like
it was almost like DC metal.
Yeah, like it was like a thing to where it's like, okay, so he's Batman, but he's also kind of like not cyberpunk, but like, Blade Runner, kind of like, it's like a crazy
and almost
Gotham.
like a splash of Batman Beyond in there too.
Why couldn't we have had that? Why
couldn't we have Michael Keaton in the Batman Beyond movie? Damn it!
Oh yeah, and that was supposed to happen too.
With Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman.
I am so fucking tired. We don't get anything. We don't get anything we want. It's like all these like canceled.
Yeah. And then the thing comes out like, well, if the Flash would have done well, then maybe they would have no, we already heard this, and it ain't gonna happen. They're not doing a Batman Beyond. We're not getting a Batman Michael Keaton movie. It's like, if we're not getting Batgirl, we're not getting the Batman movie.
I'm so fucking tired.
How about this? I will make a deal with James Gunn and DC.
Okay,
I will give you all these ideas and everything like that. Just let me throw my hood in the ring as Jason Todd and play Red Hood.
There you go.
Is that would James Gunn make that deal?
Let's see. Let's call him up.
let's call him up right now. James, I have an offer. Deal or no deal?
He's like, I'm sleeping. The fuck you want? It's like, I'm dealing with a bunch of meetings right now. I just got done with Leslie and Sasha in my fucking office. They're screaming about the goddamn Batgirl Supergirl team up movie. I need a nap. Can we talk about this later?
I just want one win from DC this year. I just want.
We do. My Adventures with Superman.
Yeah.
But it needs to be blue. Listen, characters will always be fine. We know that. We know. Oh, Young Justice. Sorry.
My.
I hate you. I had to retweet my video I did last year saying, HBO, please renew the show.
That is one big pile of shit.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about this whole damn year. I just want. Please, guys, just go watch Blue Beetle. Like, let's make it a success. Because, like, again, like I need one win. I need one win from this year.
Yeah.
Because Superman Lois certainly was not it. The Flash, again, we knew it was ending, so it is whatever. I lost Gotham Knights. Titans is gone. We haven't even gone our final 6 episodes of Doom Patrol. Stargirl is gone. It's like, again, we know Aquaman. Okay, can we just stop pretending that Aquaman has any real shot at actually performing well? Like, we know Aquaman is dead.
Yeah.
So, Taz, I'm usually not this negative. I'm just so tired. Like, Jordan can put up with most things I say, but like when I have guests on, I need to explain that I'm usually not this pissed. But now I'm realizing, oh my god, like these last 2 years, we've just been losing everything.
I feel that it's sad. Like you said, we've lost so many shows recently. So many just like movie properties been cut short. Like you just said, I was a big fan of Gotham Knights as well. Like. That was great. I the way that ended, that should have gotten a second season.
I haven't seen the last 3 episodes, I think, because the last thing I saw was Turner being a little man whore kissing 2 different girls on the same episode.
Shut up, Jordan.
It's the last thing I saw. So I don't know if there's 3 more episodes or 2 after that.
You know what? Go to fucking HBO Max. It's gonna be there soon. Max. I don't. This name is so stupid. Max. Like who? Like again. How do you go? Like you know what you can find where you can find DC properties on? Where? Max. Who's that?
Place to watch.
No, not who, but what?
So last thing I saw was episode 10. So 3 episodes I'm missing.
Yeah.
Okay.
The last 3 are really strong.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have seen the Two-Face out there, like what it looks like is Two-Face.
It looks and it's all practical. That's what I don't understand. Like, how the fuck did you like? Again, how did the CW pull up Two-Face on network television budget with just practical effects, because I don't think that's supposed. There's not a lot of CGI there.
Yeah, no, it looked like, for the most part, very practical. And if you've seen the behind the scenes little pictures and videos and stuff that Misha Collins posted, like, for the most part, that's all, practical. I think they might have just done a little bit of just like cleaning up just in post.
Yeah,
but
because anytime maybe like a camera angle was a certain way, they had to adjust it.
There was a lot of. Now you listen. Now you listen to me, okay? Now here's my dialogue.
Well, I also know of who apparently is in the end of the episode. I haven't seen the image of who this person is, but I heard who pops up at the end.
Imagine if you just sat down and watched.
At some point, I will. I have free time now because freaking Superman Lois is over.
Most shows are over, Jordan. You have time.
Superman Lois is over.
You can watch The Sandman.
Maybe. And now I know with My Adventure Superman that comes out Fridays at 9 on.
Yeah, it's 20 minutes of your life that you have to spend. You have plenty of time to watch.
I'm so busy. I'm so busy trying to dig the archives of Warner Brothers, trying to find the Batgirl movie. Because it's there in full somewhere, some complete. Because they had funeral screenings of the damn thing.
It's right next to the Schumacher cut, and then that what is it, Justice League Mortal?
And Kevin Smith is airing that shit. He played that in the movie theater.
Yeah, but look, nobody really cares about the Schumacher cut. Like the Justice League Mortal, the fact that in hindsight, that this thing sounded so much better than like what we've got in the last like 3 years in the pandemic. It's like listen, I will take that clusterfuck over the other clusterfuck that we've been dealing with. The
movie wouldn't age well with a certain character, though, a certain actor in that movie. So, yeah.
Yeah,
the biggest thing you'd have to recast the role before you make that movie, which would have been interesting if they would have done it anyways. Like, okay, cool, because they were like, we're gonna do a Justice League movie. Like, okay, right in the middle of like the Nolan trilogy, we're gonna do a Justice League movie separate. Cool. It didn't happen. Like, it would have been crazy.
Again, that was partial because of the strike, and then it should not be this hard to be a DC fan.
Somewhere in the multiverse, there is an Earth that got Justice League Mortal and Batgirl and that Batman Beyond movie and a Warner Brothers that isn't reactionary. Barry, please take us there. Where's he at? He's stuck in the Midnight Circus on that podcast.
It's somewhere out there in the vast, endless multiverse.
Okay, that was fucking smooth. Why the fuck have we not been able to come up with that? We've done. This is episode 61. We have not.
Now, we have used the endless multiverse, because we're covering pretty much anything within the multiverse of stuff, but that was good. That was in the endless, because somewhere out there is a version of this show that's probably better. Who knows?
Because we're actually talking about the Batgirl film that got released,
and Leslie is here to talk about it. She's a guest on the show. She's here talking.
David Zaslav was never born.
Ooh. Or Zaslav's here in the live stream defending.
No. How about this? David Zaslav, Walter Hamada fucked each other over and died, and then that way the world was saved.
And that stops global warming and everything else.
Everything. The 2016 election, the pandemic, the writer's strike, everything.
Wow, everything. It's time to stop.
Like, you know what? Fuck it. At this point, I would have taken Hillary Clinton as the president of Warner Brothers Discovery at this point. Like, it's like,
I thought you were saying president. No, Warner Brothers. Sorry, Hillary Clinton's running Warner Brothers.
No, listen, American politics. Politics in America. There's no point of being a president in America because it's a thankless job anyway, and it never works out for anyone. So it's better to just take Hillary Clinton as the president of Warner Brothers Discovery, because what could she do worse than David Zaslav did?
I bet there's a universe out there where Kevin Feige's running DC, because that was offered to him a while back. Can you imagine if we're seeing a Kevin Feige ran DC studio?
A universe where Kevin Feige's running both at the same time.
Oh my God, he cloned
and we have
himself.
Marvel versus DC.
We've advanced so far into technology.
So the two Russo brothers split up. So one was DC and then one Marvel, and it was like in their family home, it was just a pissing contest.
Well, it's like in the timeline of this universe. Technology's advanced so far. Kevin has cloned himself, and so we have two Kevins, one with the blue hat for DC, one with a red hat for Marvel, and they go off in their separate ways to create mashups, and they're doing crossover movies. They've built it like they'd be like, oh my god, James Gunn only went over to DC to do crossover with Marvel. Like, no, he did not do that. Can you imagine? That's all the reason why James did that.
Yeah, I don't. It's saying I'm almost thinking like, why would James want to focus any more time on the company that fired him and then rehired him? The way they did. I think, again, I feel like he's probably like, I'm done with Marvel. I just want to come back into Guardians 3. Oh, whoop de do! I gotta do a holiday special too. Awesome. But it's like now he's like, I'm finally fucking done. Never going back to them.
And then it's also come out too that him and Chris Pratt talked about what would be the continuation of Star-Lord after this. It's like,
I don't get
stop talking. You've already moved on to DC. Let's go.
Just let him be. The continuation is he's Booster Gold.
Ooh.
No. I swear to God, if that happens, I've been waiting for Booster Gold like as a TV show for God knows how many years. If I'm stuck to watch like 5 seasons of Chris Pratt, I'm just like, no, I will take Parks and Rec in that case. Before he was everywhere.
At Universe, George Lucas didn't sell Star Wars. Well, you wouldn't have any Star Wars.
Well, that also it's also called that episode of Just Tomorrow. There was an episode where they basically got Star Wars for George Lucas never came up with it.
Well, the thing is,
I forgot about that.
If that happened, George Lucas, when he passed, that's when they would sell Star Wars when he passed.
I beg your actual fucking pardon. I have no problem with Kevin Feige. I just think that white boy something's come with some very basic ass decisions. Again, it's like, I'm thinking again, everyone and their mothers are waiting for Daisy Johnson to show up in Secret Invasion. I'm just like, if she doesn't show up, it's like that is like the most wasted opportunity ever of like bringing back here that people actually want to see. But it's like, no, it's like we can't have, again,
based on what people are saying now. So
I love Marvel. I dig Kevin Feige when he doesn't do stupid ass decisions.
Bring back the Inhumans. Season 2.
I will take more Anson Mount as Black Bolt. That's fine.
Kevin Feige reverses decision. We're going to Comic-Con. He comes out and says, guys, we're not doing the Kang Dynasty. We're doing Inhuman Season 2. And then Season 3. Then Season 4. We're doing it, guys.
And everyone just leaves hallway.
Iron Fist.
No, hold on. That's
Iron Fist is back.
What he should do is say, instead of Kang Dynasty, we're going to be doing Doom Dynasty.
Ooh.
And just Dr. Doom comes in, erases all of the Kang variants, and just comes in as the true big bad.
Hey guys, we're not doing Secret Wars, we're doing Doom Wars.
Like shit, like I just realized I have to stay alive till 2027 now to see these damn things.
Yeah.
I was like
we actually have to stay alive now. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Or just time travel there.
Hey. I mean, I also have to stay alive too because they're making Avatar: The Last Airbender movies, so I gotta stay alive for that too. There's so much crap coming out. That's the problem. Can't keep up with this shit. I just keep thinking about all the stuff that I just don't have the time to do. It's like I barely have time now to write the episode reviews each week for Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. Like I literally bust that thing out Thursday morning for you, Andy, before I had to clock in for work.
Oh, now you want me to feel bad?
No, I'm not saying feel bad. I'm saying. That I was struggling to get that done, yet I'm like, well, I hope we get screeners for Witcher Season 3. Didn't happen. It's like I even if I don't know how I would have done all this crap. I don't know.
Oh, Netflix.
And the thing is, I'd stay on YouTube to 2027. I can't. I'm already dead now. I don't want to keep doing this for 5 more years.
But yeah,
it's too much. It's too much. That's what it is. A new Justice League movie in 2027? No, I don't think so.
Oh, we have to wait 2027.
Probably have to wait till like 2030 at the earliest, maybe, for a Justice League movie.
Yeah, I don't like. When is this first chapter supposed to end? Like, because there's like half the
we have 5
half
movies.
The projects. Yeah,
we have 5 shows. Announced. I'm guessing there's 5 more coming for each, and then that's it for chapter 1.
We might end with the Justice League movie, but
yeah,
it could almost be too early. Like I honestly don't want them to rush a Justice League movie because that was the issue with the original DCEU is they just again speed ran to Justice League way too quickly.
The problem was they had we're doing Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Wonder Woman's introduced. Ooh, Superman dies. Rip. Suicide Squad. Oh, Wonder Woman. Okay, now Justice League. With this, hey, you're getting Superman. You're getting a Batman and Bat family movie. You're getting a Wonder. I don't think Wonder Woman's going to be in that Paradise Lost show, which it sounds like it's like a prequel.
Yeah, she's not even born
yeah,
yet.
Yeah, so they're doing that, but they're establishing Themyscira. Cool. But Green Lanterns, right? I don't think Swamp Thing, unless whatever storyline they might involve Swamp Thing in a Justice League thing. But it really also depends on what the rest of the slate is, right? Because if it's like, okay, we're getting a Wonder Woman movie with the new Wonder Woman. Cool. We're getting I doubt they'll do a Flash movie. We're getting a Cyborg movie with a new Cyborg. Okay, so we're establishing, because if the more you establish these characters first, the easier it is to do Justice League. I feel like that's just the way it should work. Because rushing, they just rushed it. They thought, we're going to, like Avengers. No. Everyone had solo movies for the most part. Come on. No. Wait, breaking news. Fabled CEO Bob Iger is reportedly seeking to extend his brief contract indefinitely. Probably not indefinitely, but I mean.
Fabled. Fabled.
But the 2-year contract he has, I think that might get pushed out further. Because I don't think you can fix Disney in 2 years with what Bob Chapek was doing. Or I should call him, Chapstick or Paycheck, whatever you want to call him. So I don't know.
What a fucking idiot he was.
Yeah, pretty much. He's the reason why Marvel's in a bad place right now, because he was forcing them to rush shit out. That's the problem. He's like, more Disney Plus shows, more. And look what happened.
It's always quality. You got to go quality over quantity, not quantity over quality. And
that's why that's why I think this whole chapter 1 thing with James Gunn and Peter Safran is not gonna rush through. Yeah. Like, we're probably gonna get maybe 2 movies a year, maybe 1 or 2 shows per year. So that slate's gonna last a while. So I feel like they're not gonna rush, because we have to build the trust back with the audience. If we start just rushing again, we're gonna have 3 movies in 2025, hypothetically. It ain't gonna work. People are like, it's the same thing as DCEU. Same thing. Because this year we had Shazam, we had Flash, Blue Beetle, Aquaman 2. That's 4 movies. And presumably all 4 are going to underperform. It's possible.
Can you stop cursing Blue Beetle so
I'm
much?
not. If you look at the pattern in the numbers, it's all there. Now, the difference is, like Flash, heavily marketing all the DCU connections. Blue Beetle doesn't have any of that. So that is the one saving grace. Mm-hmm. Aquaman 2, that may save it because it doesn't. But people know the connection with Aquaman. So that's an issue. Like, you can't undo that. Blue Beetle is the only one, but I'm saying the track record of DC is not good.
Well, we're going to try and think positive for Blue Beetle.
Positive.
Fuck Aquaman. It's fine. He's going to be Lobo anyway. So, with Blue Beetle, we're going to manifest. Yeah. Otherwise, I will make sure that those Cobra Kai fans never get through season 6. Is it on season 6? Wait, which season is it?
I think it's gonna end. It's gonna end with whatever the next season is.
Yeah, season 6.
Okay, yeah. So in that case, if y'all don't see Blue Beetle, you don't get your season 6. I will make sure that.
And if Blue Beetle doesn't work out and he doesn't continue, they'll be like, "We're doing a Miguel spinoff," which that'd be cool. Do we keep going till 11, or I don't know how long I'm going to keep going tonight, guys. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what people's schedules are.
I'm good, but
I want to get started to eat something because I'm kind of getting hungry. So
okay, yeah, we can wrap it. We've been going for quite a while. No, we didn't really get into Q&A per se. We did answer some questions, but
this was Q&A.
It was, but we were kind of just all chatting away and just kind of like whatever, because we do have a Q&A thing, but we never got to it. It's fine. It's fine because we haven't done this in a while. We've not done a stream in a bit.
we were gone. Okay, here we go. Like we put the image there. Okay, let's do let's do 5 more minutes. Fine.
Okay, 5 more minutes. Q&A. Ask us questions. We'll fucking leave. Well, that's our Q&A song.
The nightcore version of it.
Yes.
Oh wait, hold on.
I had it selected already.
I was trying.
All the questions. Did you hear? Let's see about they lost the cast of Fantastic Four. That's not accurate. We don't know. That's just all rumor and hearsay.
Yeah, just Grace Vandal pooping shit again on Twitter.
For all we know, Taz here he's playing Mr. Fantastic. We don't know what's happening. We don't know.
you listen. Wait, hold on. So you're saying that do you remember the last time they cast a Fantastic Four member as a person of color? You want Taz to have to go through that?
Well, no.
I'll just stay off social media.
Let's be honest.
Don't worry about it.
The thing that hurt that movie was the 4 in the middle of Fantastic Four. That's what hurt that movie. It's the marketing. I saw that movie like Thursday night preview screening. By the way, I did. I actually gave it a kind of positive review because I looked at it more of a body horror movie. Because when they got transformed, they did that pretty damn well. And then, the blonde wig came in, and like there's no action, and
Dr. Doom looks like
all this stuff from like the Doom, like what's coming? Doom is coming. That's not in the trailer. The thing dropping out of a airplane, landing on tanks or whatever. Not in the actual movie.
The thing running around butt ass naked.
Yeah. I mean, who would?
Because he has pads in the comics,
and it's clobbering time because his older brother beat him up, so it's clobbering time. It's like, hey guys, I got a great name for our.
It is embarrassing.
It's fantastic. Wait, what'd you say? It's fantastic. I know what we're naming.
Guys, I got it. You ready? You ready for this shit? Credits.
Fantastic Four Fan Four Stick.
And again, bringing it full circle, crazy how that movie was allowed to be released, yet Batgirl was tossed to the side.
Oh my god! See, Fox didn't give a shit. They're like, let's put it out. I think Blue Beetle has like get things good for it. Anything against it is an audience. That's pretty much true. Yeah, I think you're right. It is not connected. Solo is, of course, leading. So, yeah.
Is he bringing up YouTube?
He became a robot for a second.
Yeah, okay. So am I the only one who's seeing him?
Yeah.
Right now?
Am I good now?
Okay, it's recovering.
Oh, okay.
You dropped to like very low.
Now you're just frozen like.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. I'm auditioning for Ultron.
I think it's gotta catch up. It did this earlier, I think, and it recovered.
But it disappeared.
Yeah, it recovered very quickly. Maybe like turn your camera or like do the stop camera and start it again. That might help, possibly.
What is happening?
In the meanwhile, a clip.
Can we trust him?
The one question they never asked in Gotham Knights.
Reminds me, I saw a video of somebody with the Grimace shake, and it's like, Alfred, Grimace is taking over Gotham. I think he's got Harvey. And then it was like Two-Face with the shake all over his face. He's like,
Jordan, I think we have to call it here because I think your internet is just like.
No.
The fact we can't even see you move. You're just like
you're frozen.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in for Endless Multiverse episode 61. Taz, thank you so much for joining us. Tell the listeners where they can find you on social media, your YouTube channel, and anything else you'd like to plug.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys for having me on. Once again, it was a fun time. Had a blast chatting with you guys. If you want to find me outside of here, I am on YouTube, youtube.com/ToxicTaz, on Twitter @Toxic_Taz, and on Instagram @ToxicTaz, and Chainsaw's back.
Thank God. Hey, I was hearing everything. Everything seemed like it was going, so it's just like
I'm good. You were hearing everything because we were not talking shit about you.
I heard everything. Everything.
Yeah, fuck your headphones. Your headphones are so ugly. Like they're so fucking basic.
I have Beats. I just haven't plugged them in yet or used them yet. So.
Oh, this is
I'm cool.
Less words, more action, boy.
Oh,
you know where you can find us, me and Chainsaw, in the links in the video description below. We're gonna be back full time now. We for people who are wondering, if we're doing it for Comic-Con, Comic-Con is not doing anything, so why would we?
Yeah, exactly.
But as always, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. The only way there is.
Hopefully,
the only way there is.
Taz, get ready for this. This is the best clip ever.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm prepared.
Yeah, you guys, you know it's a tradition on Endless Multiverse to end it with Cicada. Cicada, take it away. Fuck, that was the wrong clip.
The wrong clip.
Wait, why do you have two clips named Cicada? Wait, I can't even... Oh, there we go. Here we go.
Metas killed your parents, Gracie. They all deserve to die.
Don't believe him, Grace.
I can't get over that she's just standing in the background like, Grace, don't believe in Grace.
The reason why that's the best clip is the way he says they all deserve to die. He's so.
I was watching.
Master of Camp.
I was watching American Pie on TV earlier today, and I'm like, and Chris Klein showed up. I'm just like, he's like, he can't even act here. Whoops.
Well, he's in a show on Netflix called Sweet Magnolia, some show that my wife watches. And every single time she's watching the show and the new season comes out, she's binging through it, and I hear him, and I look up, Gracie. I have to say it every single time because he's like, that's how he says Gracie. So I'm like, I love Cicada.
But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week for episode 62.
Yeah, counting is a thing.
Yeah. It's like I'm like, can we even see the title? I'm like, oh, there we go. The title is right there on the left side.
Exactly, Victor. Don't believe them, Taz. Don't believe them, Grace. Don't believe them.
Don't listen to us. Have a great weekend, everyone. We will see you next week on this Multiverse. I might be live on Twitch this weekend, so if you want to catch me there, you will see me there. Go check out Jordan's latest reactions to stuff. I don't know. Like
Superman.
X-Men tomorrow. Ben 10 on Sunday. See, I can.
Yeah, there you go.
When I apply myself, I can almost remember your schedule.
Yeah.
Happy weekend, everyone. See you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.